For the next 100 days, I'll be surviving as one of the creatures from the infected sky. Using my radioactive powers, I'll fight off the military, other powerful kaijus, and spread my infection across the world. Will I be able to stand up against Godzilla's might, or will I be crushed back into hiding? It was time to find out as I spawned among the wreckage of a deadly plane crash. I emerged from the rubble as a baby infected creature with a never-ending desire for radiation. Must consume more power! I began my rampage on the city, infecting civilians and destroying anything that dared to cross me. As I attacked, I grew larger over time, slowly becoming an even bigger threat to the world. All will bow down to me! I continued my onslaught until suddenly a flurry of bullets were fired into me. I turned and realized that the government military had arrived to stop my attack.
This is the aviation complex industry. Surrender, beast!
Make me! I began to fight back against the officers who tried their best to mow me down with their bullets. Luckily, my fleshy body protected me like armor.
Fire the missiles! Now!
The military brought out the big guns and began to rain down artillery fire onto me from the sky above. The flames burnt through my skin for massive damage. As a baby, I couldn't withstand the attacks. I was forced to run as the bombs continued to fire downwards. On day 2, I was being chased throughout the city by the military forces. Bombs fell around me while a tank fired explosive shells as I ran. I did my best to dodge them, but I couldn't keep up this pace forever. I booked a hard left turn and scrambled into some kind of nuclear power plant for cover, leaving the tank behind. Upon entering, I noticed there was a vat of nuclear waste standing before me. The officers closed in from behind. I was trapped.
Nowhere to run.
That's what you think. Without warning, I jumped into the vat of waste, causing my body to transform. I grew much larger in size, gained 5 more hearts, and even more crushing strength. The guards ran in fear as I used my new abilities to blast down the walls of the power plant along with the surrounding military forces. If I can gather more nuclear energy, I'll be unstoppable.
Mayday! Mayday! We need backup now! Bring in the special forces!
The remaining troops fled the area and the ground began to tremble beneath my feet. Big, heavy footsteps approached my location. I turned and found that the military had released their secret weapon. It was the king of the monsters, Godzilla! I braced myself as the radioactive kaiju lunged forward, getting ready to attack me. On day 3, I was clashing with Godzilla in an epic radioactive monster brawl. He was using his atomic breath to melt me down, and I did my best to avoid the blasts. Eventually, I ran out of places to evade and got pelted by the blast, sending me back. Ugh, this guy is tough. I'll need to become stronger if I want to withstand his attacks. I tried to unleash my infected abilities in an attempt to take the beast down, but it was clear that his nuclear power outmatched mine greatly.
You will return to the Earth where you belong.
You'll have to make me.
As you wish.
Godzilla hit me with another atomic breath attack, causing me to take big damage. I returned the favor with my own beam attack, but he was so powerful he didn't even flinch.
You have much to learn.
He started walking up to me menacingly. I had to escape and find cover if I wanted to survive. Before he could blast me again, I slipped away and hid behind a nearby building to think of a new plan. He's definitely too strong for me to face right now. Just then, Godzilla closed in on my location.
Come out, little one. Face me in battle.
Godzilla began using his power to melt buildings to try and find me.
Godzilla, we want to reduce civilian casualties as much as possible. Stop destroying the city buildings.
Step aside, human. I don't tell you how to do your job.
Godzilla ignored the officer and continued to blast buildings in an attempt to locate me. I need to get out of this city or I'm toast! I quickly retreated outside the city limits and into a cave where I could hide underground. It wasn't long until Godzilla quickly found my hiding spot and waited at the entrance.
You won't get away that easily.
The kaiju roared, unleashing his power onto the land. Without warning, purple crystals sprouted up all over the cave, causing me to feel weaker and weaker. My energy, I feel it draining. It has to be the crystals. I tried to shatter the crystals, but they kept growing back. Instead, I continued to run forward as my body grew weaker and weaker. This is bad. I might not make it. On days 4 through 7, I was about to succumb to my wounds when I spotted a human hidden in the cave with me.
Man, sure is nice to finally get out of the house, huh? What the heck is that?
Now's my chance! Food!
Stay back, you freaky beast! Ah!
I took the opportunity to strike before they could run, infecting them with my virus. The human transformed into a terrifying Vitrin. Help me out of here, now! The Vitron obeyed my command and smashed open a wall nearby with his powers, allowing us both to escape the clutches of Godzilla for now. Not bad. From now on, you'll be called Vito.
Anything for you, sir. In fact, I think I know where we can restore the radioactive energy Godzilla stole from you.
Really? How would you know that? I only just infected you.
Not sure. It's just a feeling I have. I can sense the power you need emitting from a place not far from here.
Well, alright. I won't question that logic. Lead the way. I followed Vito across the lands into another part of the city. As we got closer, I realized that it was completely covered in ice. Even the ocean was frozen solid. It seemed odd, but I was too focused on our new task.
The radioactive energy is close by. Can you feel it?
I do. I can almost taste it. Too bad it's across this frozen wasteland. What happened here?
It doesn't seem to be a natural occurrence. We better be careful. Come on.
Vito and I entered the frozen city, and before we could find the radiation, Vito was frozen solid by a frosty beam. I turned and found the icy kaiju Shimo standing before us.
Your reign of terror ends here, creature!
Without warning, the ice-cold beast attacked. On days 8 through 10, I navigated around the icy city as Shimo fired beams of ice at me.
Stop moving so I can end you!
I ran behind a frozen building to take cover as Shimo continued to hunt me down. Who are you anyway?
Just a follower of the mighty Godzilla. If he wishes to have you wiped from this earth, then so be it!
Shimo tried to attack me in my previous hiding spot, but I was already on the move.
Hey, get back here!
She tried to freeze me in place, but I was able to avoid her attacks while still traversing the slippery ice. Unfortunately, I was soon met with a deadly chasm in front of me. Oh no, it's either get eaten or jump across. I guess I'm jumping. I platformed over the pit, doing my best not to slide to my demise. I can't fall here. My reign is just beginning. Thankfully, I made it to the other side where I found the source of radiation Vito and I had been seeking out. I dipped my body in the vat of radiation, becoming even stronger than I was before. Thanks to the radiation, I now had a new radiation glob attack. My power is restored. I need to hurry and get back to Vito.
You won't escape!
Shimo tried to hit me with her icy laser attacks, but I dodged and was able to counter with my new powers, stunning her and buying me some time to escape. I returned to Vito and thawed him out with my new radioactive glob attack.
Whoa, I thought I was a goner. Thank you, sir.
Thank me later. Let's move, now! Vito and I ran off to find a place to take cover before Shimo had the chance to attack again. On days 11 through 14, Vito and I were hiding as the military searched the area for us. We better lay low. If we're spotted, who knows what they'll send at us next? We stealthed around the buildings as officers continued to scour the area. Unfortunately, we made a misstep, causing us to be spotted. Luckily, Vito was able to create a wall of flesh, blocking their line of sight.
The creatures are too quick! Resort to Plan B!
Suddenly, bombs rained from above. If they can't find us, they're gonna level this whole area. Vito and I ran for our lives as explosions went off behind us. During the heated chase, I spotted an interesting creature, but I didn't have time to take a closer look. Did you see that? There are loads of other awesome Easter eggs hidden throughout the video. Try to find them all. The two of us made it out of the explosive blast before we were toast, only to find a map on the ground. I then picked it up to see where it led. Nuclear power plant? That'll give me the boost I need to get out of this mess. Just then, bullets flew in our direction. We had been found by a nearby military drone.
Threats detected. Calling reinforcements.
On days 15 through 17, we had been located by the military and were awaiting our fate. Oh no! That drone is giving away our position! We gotta keep moving. I was getting ready to run until Vito intervened.
Wait, I'll hold off the incoming reinforcements. You go to the power plant. That'll give you some time to power up.
I listened to my ally and left the area, following my map as a guide.
Main threat is escaping. Following in pursuit.
Hey, come back here!
The military drone continued to follow me instead and began dropping missiles down at me from above. I knew at this rate I would be killed unless I found a faster way to the power plant. Just then, I spotted a nearby train tunnel, giving me an idea. I jumped down and ran towards the tunnel with the drone in hot pursuit. Hey drone, shoot your missiles down here, why don't ya?
Target locked. Firing missiles.
The drone took the bait and I ran into the tunnel. The drone's missiles then made impact with the tunnel entrance, causing it to crumble and giving me the opportunity to escape.
Target lost. Finding alternate route.
The drone flew off and I made my way down the train's tunnel system. Soon, I made it to the other side of the tunnel and arrived at the entrance of the second nuclear power plant. Sweet power will soon be mine! Just then, the military drone swooped in to stop me.
Target relocated.
Not you again! Get out of my way! I then used my infected beam power to fry the drone, destroying it in a single blow. Wow, I'm stronger than I thought. Suddenly, a military-grade mech dropped down in front of me, stopping me in my tracks. Who the heck are you?
I've been summoned to destroy a monstrous threat. You must be the threat. Prepare to die.
The mech charged forward, engaging in lethal combat. On days 18 through 21, I clashed with the mech, trying to fight my way into the nuclear power plant. It unleashed powerful missile attacks, specifically designed to fight monsters like me. I did my best to fight back using my radiation attacks, but without the radiation boost I needed, I couldn't break through its armor.
It's no use. I was built to stomp out scum like you. I am unstoppable.
Then I'll just have to get stronger. I hit the enemy with a surprise beam attack, pushing them towards the power plant. Soon enough, I caused them to smash through the walls of the nuclear plant, which revealed a path that led directly towards the waste inside. Before the mech could recover, I rushed towards my prize and transformed into an even more powerful state. I grew bigger in size and gained razor-sharp teeth. I now had 5 more hearts and even more powers.
No! No! What have you done?
You're mine now! I began my approach towards the mech as he ran and tried to call for backup.
Command! Come in, Command! The beast has increased in size and strength. I need backup!
I dropped down in front of him.
No!
And instead of destroying the mech, I used my powers to infect him. Its shiny armor transformed into flesh as it was inflicted with my deadly virus. Ha! You're mine now! Welcome to the team!
Thank you, Creator.
Before I could react, Shimo arrived on the scene and I was completely vulnerable.
You won't get away with this!
On days 22 through 25, just as I thought I was done for, my new ally jumped in front of me, tanking Shimo's attack.
Back away from my Creator.
The infected mech ran in and clashed with Shimo, fighting off the kaiju in my name. While they were fighting, I saw an interesting creature scurry away in fear. Whoa, did you see that? Rewatch at 0.25 speed and let me know in the comments below. I looked back at the fight and saw that the mech I had infected was faster and stronger than ever before.
My Creator has empowered me beyond my limits. You will never defeat me, monster!
Ah! You are the monster! Eat this!
Shimo blasted the infected mech with a heavy ice blast, but surprisingly, the mech was able to shake it off and continue fighting back. Whoa, I can infect more than just people. If I grow my power, I'll be unstoppable. He unleashed new powerful blood missile attacks while Shimo tried to freeze him in place.
Creator, help me defeat this beast!
Right! I started using my acid attacks to back up my ally. Shimo was being overpowered by both of our attacks, and soon enough was forced to retreat. Ha! If I can reach the remaining nuclear power plants, I'll infect the entire world! Nothing will stop me! Suddenly, a new type of military mech had arrived, equipped with a flamethrower.
Stand down, creature.
Make me!
Be careful, Creator. That mech is equipped with heavy flame weapons. Proceed with caution.
Huh? We can take this guy? Look at him! He doesn't even have a minigun! Not very intimidating.
Last chance, creature. Stand down.
Bring it on!
All right, you asked for this.
On days 26 through 28, the enemy mech raised his weapon and fired a piercing flamethrower attack at both of us. Ugh! Why didn't you tell me he had a flamethrower?
I did! You just saw it when he got here.
Alright, you did say that. Well, it's 2 versus 1. Let's kick his butt. The two of us clashed and continued to fight the mech, as he unleashed his fire powers on me and my infected ally. I thought I would be fine, but to my surprise, the flames scorched right through my fleshy armor.
Taste the power of the latest breakthrough in human technology. You creatures won't stand a chance.
Hey, fire isn't a new technology.
It might not be new, but it's definitely newly upgraded. Take this.
The flamethrower mech continued its onslaught of fire attacks, continually sending me back. Somehow, the humans had figured out my biggest weakness: fire. The flamethrower mech didn't give me another second to process before it started blasting us once again. I did my best to break through the mech's defenses, but I was barely able to scratch it. As I was getting overwhelmed, I looked around to find my ally was nowhere to be seen. What the? Where'd my mech friend go?
Looks like he left you to die. So long, freak.
I prepared myself for the end until I heard a voice call out to me.
Creator, over here. I'll protect you.
The mech I had infected beckoned me over. I quickly mustered up the last of my strength to blast the flame mech back and ran over to him, taking cover behind some nearby buildings. Thanks! I was starting to get crispy back there.
Anything for my creator. Stay here. I'll buy you some time to escape.
My infected ally then ran out of cover and in another direction, leading the flamethrower mech away from my location. Wow, he's really saving my butt right now. Time to get out of here. As soon as the coast was clear, I made a run for it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get far as 2 more flame mechs dropped down and surrounded me.
It's over now. Surrender.
You'll have to catch me! I turned to run, but the mechs quickly set my path ablaze, leaving me with nowhere to go. I was now trapped in a ring of fire.
The aviation complex industry has big plans for you.
The mech attacked me with its fists, knocking me unconscious. On days 29 through 32, I awoke inside of an underwater facility in the middle of the ocean. I was being held in some sort of containment chamber. This place looks secure. Where am I? Just then, an aviation complex industry officer emerged from a hallway.
Looks like we finally caught you, you foul creature. It's time that we undid the mistakes left by Godzilla in the past, and that starts by putting an end to you.
What are you talking about? What do I have to do with Godzilla's past mistakes?
You don't know about how you came to be? Without Godzilla, there would be no infected sky.
What? You have some explaining to do.
I suppose since this will be your last moments, I'll tell you. Long ago when Godzilla first surfaced upon our city, he attacked, forcing us to take lethal action. As we fought, some of Godzilla's flesh fell from his body. We saw this as a blessing because it meant the beast could be hurt and even killed. Unfortunately, this supposed blessing would prove to be our greatest downfall. The fallen flesh is where you come from, creature.
But I don't understand. How did I come from that flesh?
Well, Godzilla is so deeply imbued with radiation that the flesh began to mutate. Soon you were born from the flesh of Godzilla and now learn to become monsters of your own.
So you're saying that my very creator wants me dead?
That's right. With your level of hunger and desire for power, we cannot allow you to continue to live, and neither will the other kaiju.
I deserve to live just as much as you wretched creatures. In fact, I'll take over everything if I have to. I don't care how many humans I have to kill, or how many kaijus I must take on.
Then it seems you've made yourself clear, so be it. This is where your destruction ends.
The commander activated a device, which began to drain the radiation from my body. If I didn't escape soon, I would surely die.
Bye, infected sky, and good riddance.
The commander then left the room as I struggled to survive. On days 33 through 35, I was trying to escape containment. I was using everything I had, but I just kept growing weaker. I could feel the radiation being sucked from my body, and each of my attacks weakening. I have to stop this from the source! I looked for what was draining my power, and found a machine attached to the ceiling above me. I readied myself, and used the last of my strength to destroy the machine. I think that did it! The room began to tremble as the commander ran back in to see what happened.
No, I was gone for like 5 seconds. What did you do?
He tried to run over to a nearby control panel in an attempt to fix it, but the machine exploded, killing the commander. My glass prison then shattered to pieces and the radiation that was stolen from me powered me up, and somehow I grew even stronger. I feel great. Immediately, alarms began to ring, and an emergency protocol began.
Emergency! Emergency! Creature breach! Release Godzilla! I repeat, release Godzilla!
Before I had a second to think, I heard Godzilla's roar in the distance. Oh no, he's close. I need to find a way out of here. I thought quickly and used my powers to blow a hole into the ceiling, giving me a way out. Water filled the room through the hole I created, and I made my way through it to soon find myself in the middle of the ocean. I looked around and luckily spotted a power plant in the distance. I need to get to that power plant before the military kills me. Or worse, Godzilla catches up. I began to traverse the waters, but didn't get far before I was confronted by military battleships. I couldn't move any further as their blockade surrounded me. How am I gonna get through this? Just then, the commander of the brigade stepped forward on the ship in front of me.
Well, well, well. If it isn't the infected Sky himself, looks like you got yourself in a little pickle here.
Oh yeah? How so?
My brigade of ships are armed with the most advanced and powerful weapons the military has to offer. And if we're not able to blow you to Kingdom Come, Godzilla will be here soon to end you for good.
Give me your best shot!
Yeah, I like your style. Fire at will!
They began to fire at me, and I braced myself for battle. On days 36 through 39, the day turned to night and I was fighting off the battleships of the ocean. I fired off my jet engine beam attacks, destroying chunks of the ships. They fired back with powerful shots, bombarding me with their weapons. I was doing good damage, but they were overwhelming me with their numbers. These ships are tough. I need to find a new strategy to defeat them. Just as I was starting to lose steam, I got an insane but brilliant idea. Time to see what my powers can really do. I tried using my infected powers on one of the ships, hoping to infect it. Miraculously, it worked. The ship became completely infected and began to do my bidding. Soon enough, the infected ship began to attack the other battleship by firing blood mortars and doing heavy damage. This allowed me to dash towards the power plant. When I made it inside the plant, I began to consume the toxic waste. With the nuclear power from the waste, I grew even bigger in size, gaining new powers and even more hearts. I'm one step closer to world domination. I roared into the sky, releasing a surge of electromagnetic energy. Before I could celebrate, the area shook around me. I looked up and realized a plane was falling from the sky. Oh no, that surge of energy affected the planes too. I have to run! I ran for my life as the massive plane plummeted towards me. On days 40 to 43, I was evading the planes as they crashed down from the sky around me. The airplanes created huge explosions as they hit the area, dealing big damage if I was too close. I dodged and weaved, avoiding the falling planes as much as I could. I was unable to dodge a few planes and took a whole lot of damage. Luckily, my armored flesh was enough to help me endure, and I managed to keep moving. Soon, I made my way back to the city, but when I got there, it was also completely out of power. I put the power out here too? Looks like I'm getting stronger than I expected. I'd better be careful, otherwise something might backfire. I began to move further into the city, when suddenly I spotted a massive mechanical beast was wrecking the skyscrapers and stomping right towards me.
Must eliminate infected threat.
The creature stomped towards me and attacked with its proton scream, forcing me to dodge out of the way. If you're a robot, how are you on? The power is out. Instead of answering me, he released another powerful proton beam right at me. I was knocked back, but I managed to spot where his energy was coming from. I realized he was fueled by Godzilla's radioactive crystals. Electricity wasn't what powered him, but radiation was. Looks like that radiation made you immune to the power outage. I guess I'll just have to take you down the old-fashioned way. I ran into battle, ready to take him down. On days 44 through 46, I was clashing in a heated battle with the Mecha Godzilla. He used his powerful attacks, causing massive damage to me. I tried to fight him back, but his sheer power overwhelmed everything I had. He was stronger than any other mech I had ever faced. As I was fighting, I spotted an interesting creature roll by, but I was too busy fighting to see what it was. Rewatch the video at 0.25 speed and see if you can spot it. I tried to hit the mecha with my strongest attacks, but nothing seemed to work. I needed to change my game plan. If you won't go down, then I'll make you join me. I used my powers to try and infect him instead, blasting him with infection. Mechagodzilla seemed stunned for a second, and I thought my idea actually worked. Just as quickly as he'd been stunned, the mecha shook off the infection. He roared. The radiation from Godzilla's power protected him. What? How did you resist infection?
You cannot infect me. I was created for one reason, to destroy the infected. I am the perfect weapon against diseases like you, as I am resistant to your attacks. You have no chance of beating me, so give up and die, scum!
He charged yet another proton scream attack, and I narrowly dodged. I managed to slip away and find some temporary cover. Why are the humans getting these crystals? I have to find the source before they make more of these superpowered mechs. Suddenly, my hiding spot was destroyed as the Mechagodzilla closed in on me. Ever heard of private space?
Your rampage ends here, creature.
On days 47 through 50, just as I thought I was done for, Vito had arrived. He ran in and infected the area around Mechagodzilla's feet, trapping him in fleshy blocks.
What is this?
Come with me before it's too late.
Vito and I escaped from where the Mechagodzilla was. Vito led me to cover, where the infected mech was waiting for us.
What was that? It was crazy powerful. I didn't know the humans had that kind of power at their disposal.
The humans are getting radioactive crystals from Godzilla somehow. We have to find the source.
Good thing you have me around.
The infected mech handed me a map.
This will take you to the cave where those gems are coming from. But you better hurry, before the humans create more weapons with them to use against us.
Then there's no time to waste. I picked up the map and set off with my new lead, following the map closely. Soon, I came to the mouth of a large cave, and I could sense something strange. I was feeling radioactive power emanating from the cave, and I readied myself to enter. But before I did, I saw something strange scurry into the trees. What the? Did you see that? Make sure to rewatch the video at 0.25 speed and tell me if you saw it. After that distraction, I made my way inside and began my search. As I searched the cave, something felt off. Radioactive crystals filled the cave, but nobody seemed to be there to use them. Where is everyone? These crystals seem to be like the one I ran into last time. On day 3, I was clashing with Godzilla in an epic radioactive monster brawl. He was using his atomic breath to melt me down, and I did my best to avoid the blasts. Eventually, I ran out of places to evade and got pelted by the blast, sending me back. Ugh, this guy is tough. I'll need to become stronger if I want to withstand his attacks. I tried to unleash my infected abilities in an attempt to take the beast down, but it was clear that his nuclear power outmatched mine greatly.
You will return to the Earth where you belong.
You'll have to make me.
As you wish.
Godzilla hit me with another atomic breath attack, causing me to take big damage. I returned the favor with my own beam attack, but he was so powerful he didn't even flinch.
You have much to learn.
He started walking up to me menacingly. I had to escape and find cover if I wanted to survive. Before he could blast me again, I slipped away and hid behind a nearby building to think of a new plan. He's definitely too strong for me to face right now. Just then, Godzilla closed in on my location.
Come out, little one. Face me in battle.
Godzilla began using his power to melt buildings to try and find me.
Godzilla, we want to reduce civilian casualties as much as possible. Stop destroying the city buildings.
Step aside, human. I don't tell you how to do your job.
Godzilla ignored the officer and continued to blast buildings in an attempt to locate me. I need to get out of this city or I'm toast. I quickly retreated outside the city limits and into a cave where I could hide underground. It wasn't long until Godzilla quickly found my hiding spot and waited at the entrance.
You won't get away that easily.
The kaiju roared, unleashing his power onto the land. Without warning, purple crystals sprouted up all over the cave, causing me to feel weaker and weaker. My energy, I feel it draining. It has to be the crystals. I tried to shatter the crystals, but they kept growing back. Instead, I continued to run forward as my body grew weaker and weaker. This is bad. I might not make it. Oh no, these crystals are bad news. I gotta get out of here. I turned to leave the cave until suddenly more radioactive crystals appeared out of the ground and blocked the exit behind me. I had walked right into a trap. On days 51 through 54, I tried breaking out of the crystal trap, but they were draining my power. I was no longer strong enough. Suddenly, I realized the infected mech was standing before me.
Oh, you really are hopeless.
Hey, help me! I'm trapped!
Of course you are. I made sure you would be.
Wait, you set this up? Why would you do that? I thought I infected you to become my ally.
Because I deserve to be the ultimate life form and ruler of this world. Ever since you infected me, I realized my purpose was just to serve under you. That's why ever since that day, I've done my best to take you out of the picture. Back when we were fighting the flamethrower mechs, I acted as if I was going to defend you. But the truth is, I knew exactly what would happen that day. Creator, over here! I'll protect you.
The mech I had infected beckoned me over. I quickly mustered up the last of my strength to blast the flame mech back and ran over to him, taking cover behind some nearby buildings. Thanks! I was starting to get crispy back there.
Anything for my creator. Stay here. I'll buy you some time to escape.
My infected ally then ran out of cover and in another direction, leading the flamethrower mech away from my location. Wow, he's really saving my butt right now. Time to get out of here. As soon as the coast was clear, I made a run for it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get far as two more flame mechs dropped down and surrounded me.
It's over now. Surrender.
You'll have to catch me! I turned to run, but the mechs quickly set my path ablaze, leaving me with nowhere to go. I was now trapped in a ring of fire.
The aviation complex industry has big plans for you.
The mech attacked me with its fists, knocking me unconscious.
I knew that waiting in that hiding spot were flamethrower mechs ready to take you down. What I didn't realize is that they wouldn't finish the job. When I discovered my plan had failed, I knew I would have to lure you in another way. So I gave you this false lead with the intention of trapping you here and taking your power for myself. Now it's time to take what is rightfully mine!
You traitor! I tried to attack him, but I couldn't get past the trap.
Nice try, but it's over now. So long, creator.
Suddenly, I began to shrink as my powers were being drained while the infected mech grew bigger in size. On days 55 through 57, the traitor mech burst through the crystal wall to finish me off. I thought I was done for, until the area outside suddenly froze over.
What the?
Shimo suddenly entered the area.
Stand down, monsters!
She unleashed her icy powers, trying to destroy both of us. The infected mech rushed in to attack Shimo, using his new powers to try and take her down. Shimo fought back. Her abilities were impressive, but she was no match for the mech.
You fool! With this stolen power, you can't stop me.
Good thing Godzilla's on my side.
Shimo then used the cave's radiation crystals to infuse herself with Godzilla's power. She began to mutate and transformed into an even stronger state.
You're done for now!
Shimo used her new powers to strike the infected mech, making him crash through the crystal trap. He didn't stand a chance against her now.
It's not supposed to end this way!
The mech made one last desperate attempt to take down Shimo, hitting her with missile attacks. Unfortunately for him, he was too weak, and his attack did almost nothing.
Is that really all you have?
Shimo then charged in and hit the mech with her sharp claws, finally destroying the traitor. She then immediately set her sights on me.
You're next.
Before I could be attacked, I managed to reabsorb my power from the dead mech, returning to normal. Shimo hit me hard, but thanks to my quick thinking, I endured the attack. I may have been able to withstand that, but I knew there was no way I could beat her. I used my powers to slow Shimo down and narrowly escaped the cave. Shimo is even stronger now. I need to get to the next power plant. Just then, I spotted smoke billowing up in the distance. Oh no, I forgot about Vito! On days 58 through 61, I followed the smoke back into the city and found Vito under attack from Mechagodzilla. He was on the ropes, and Mechagodzilla was slowly closing in for the kill. Leave my friend alone! I charged in and used my jet laser attack to knock Mecha away from Vito.
Thanks for the help.
Don't thank me too soon, here he comes! The mechanical kaiju charged in for round 2. Luckily, Vito and I were side by side. We used our combined powers to land a heavy blow on the Mechagodzilla.
You cursed infections won't destroy me!
The mecha turned his focus to me and knocked me back with a powerful proton beam. Luckily, his attack on me left him vulnerable to Vito. Vito, get him now! Vito then used the opportunity to run behind Mechagodzilla and bite down onto his tail. Mecha shattered in pain into the sky, giving me the chance to run in and strike him with a killing blow. However, when he died, Vito absorbed Mechagodzilla's radioactive essence, growing larger and more powerful.
Hey, we did it!
Good job, Vito. But that power you got? Are you gonna betray me like the infected mech?
I would never. In fact, let me prove it to you. I'll take you to the next nuclear power plant.
Okay. Lead the way. Vito turned and led me away as I followed close behind. On days 62 through 64, we arrived at the next power plant to find it was heavily guarded by Godzilla's radioactive crystals. They completely surrounded the facility, embedded into the ground, almost like a castle moat. Shoot! Vito, the crystals are radioactive bloodsuckers. I need to get inside without those crystals absorbing my power.
Okay, let me help with that.
Using his new abilities, Vito created fleshy platforms for me to try and evade the pits of crystals. Whoa, those are kinda weird.
I can't hold them off for long, go!
I platformed over the crystals, trying to get through the moat as fast as I could. Even from this distance, I could feel the crystals trying to suck the radioactivity out of me.
Hurry, I'm losing hold!
The flesh platforms began to disappear behind me. Vito's powers were dampening. I was running out of time. I barely managed to make it across before it was too late. The second I jumped to safety, the fleshy steps shattered.
That Sucked.
Thanks, Vito. Now that upgrade is as good as mine. I turned and ran off further into the plant. Suddenly, it started to snow and the sky shifted colors. Before I could react, the newly empowered Shimo arrived in the area. Holy Shimo!
There you are, you runaway! You're mine now!
Shimo charged in and I braced myself. On days 65 through 67, I clashed with radioactive Shimo. She hit me with her upgraded ice beam attacks, dealing big damage and launching me back. I ran in and fought back with my own attacks, but her strength greatly outmatched mine. We continued to clash, but I was losing steam. If I didn't find another way to win soon, this could be wraps. Ugh, I need to get to that nuclear waste. I dodged Shimo's next ice attack and rushed towards the building that held the waste. Before I entered though, Shimo created an ice wall, blocking my attack.
You can't pass! I won't let you!
She shot at me with another attack, but I managed to dodge it. I turned and blasted the ice with my radioactive beam, breaking through the ice wall. I rushed in and jumped into the pool of radiation, absorbing as much toxic waste as I could. As I sucked up more waste, I grew in size and gained more powers. It's time to show you who the stronger opponent is. I used my new strength to bust out of the building and blasted Shimo with my strongest attack yet. She was shot back and was now on the verge of death.
I won't let you destroy this world!
Doesn't look like you have much of a choice. You've already lost this battle. There's nothing you can do.
Maybe so, but I have enough power for one final attack.
Shimo used all of the strength she had left, unleashing a terrifying blizzard.
Let's see how long you can survive through the next ice age.
Without another word, Shimo died, draining all of her energy. She may be dead, but now I gotta deal with this blizzard. I need to find cover. Stat! On days 68 through 72, I returned back to Vito and we were now stuck in the next ice age left behind by Shimo. As long as this storm continues, there's no way we can stop Godzilla in the military.
Then we just have to spread out more radiation. With that power, we can thaw out the ice age for good.
Good idea. Let's look for the next nuclear power plant. We began traveling through the snow and were forced to traverse through the deadly winter. While walking through the blizzard, I thought I spotted a dancing Godzilla, but I couldn't make it out. Did you see that? Rewatch the video at 0.25 speed and comment below if you saw it. As we traveled, strange ice reptiles emerged from the snow.
What are these things?
All will fall to Shimo's might.
The reptiles approached us, getting ready to attack. I think Shimo's power mixed with the snow and created monsters. We have to fight! We readied ourselves and prepared to fight back. On days 73 through 75, I was locked in an intense battle with the ice reptiles. They came after me with their icy claw attacks and tried to take us down. We were able to counter almost all of their attacks, but they were tough opponents.
Shimo will live on forever.
But she's literally dead. She can't live forever.
That's not what I meant. Like she'll live on in spirit, like in our hearts.
Oh, okay, I see. For Shimo!
For Shimo!
The lizards ran after me, using more of their ice attacks. Luckily, Vito was able to strike them with a heavy attack, leaving them heavily injured. Thanks, Vito. My turn now. I turned and finished off the reptiles, but I soon realized we had another problem on our hands. I think we're lost. We kept walking through the blizzard until we found a building that Vito recognized.
Wait, I think I recognize this building. I remember now.
Vito approached the building and began to reminisce.
Before I was infected, I used to work at the nuclear power plant in the city until one day I had a horrible accident at work. I wasn't paying attention and slipped into a vat of nuclear waste. I was taken to this hospital in a critical state. The doctor said they couldn't do anything for me. I would have to spend the rest of my life in constant pain and agony. I lost everything. My job, my family. I had nothing to live for. I was a beggar on the streets of the city. I spent years hating the power plant up until the moment you infected me.
On days 4 through 7, I was about to succumb to my wounds when I spotted a human hidden in the cave with me.
Man, sure is nice to finally get out of the house, huh? What the heck is that?
Now's my chance! Food!
Stay back, you freaky beast!
I took the opportunity to strike before they could run, infecting them with my virus. The human transformed into a terrifying Vitrin. Help me out of here, now! The Vitrin obeyed my command and smashed open a wall nearby with his powers, allowing us both to escape the clutches of Godzilla for now. Not bad. From now on, you'll be called Vito.
Anything for you, sir. In fact, I think I know where we can restore the radioactive energy Godzilla stole from you. After you infected me, I finally felt free. My pain was finally gone thanks to you. I know where the power plant is, and now I want to destroy it more than ever. Let's make them pay for all the pain they caused me.
Lead the way, Vito. On days 76 through 79, we arrived at the power plant with Vito's help, only to find that the perimeter had been secured. I tried to break through by force, but it didn't budge.
They locked this place up since the last time I was here. I think the only way through is through this gate.
Suddenly, a kaiju stone popped out of my inventory and reacted to the gate. I grabbed it and placed it on one of the pedestals, causing it to glow. I must have picked this up when I defeated Shimu. This must be a puzzle. If we can find the other 4 kaiju stones, the gate will open.
Then let's split up. See you in a bit.
We went our separate ways and began searching. After some searching, I found a bottomless pit with icy platforms leading to the first stone. I then leapt from one icy platform to the next, careful not to lose my footing over the pit below. I finished platforming and grabbed the first stone and kept moving. I continued searching and found the next one in a frozen cave, sealed within a solid block of ice. I used my powers to thaw it out and then quickly snatched it, but I accidentally caused the cave to start rumbling. Oh no, this place is gonna collapse! I ran to escape the cave with the relic intact, only to find Vito waiting for me outside.
I found another relic, so there's just one more to go.
Suddenly, the ground started shaking and I looked up to see that Godzilla was in the distance. We have to find it, now! On days 80 through 83, Vito and I were taking cover from the imposed threat. Come on, where could that last relic be? I was thinking hard, recalling my adventure, when it occurred to me. On days 29 through 32, I awoke inside of an underwater facility in the middle of the ocean. I was being held in some sort of containment chamber. This place looks secure. Where am I? Just then, an aviation complex industry officer emerged from a hallway.
Looks like we finally caught you, you foul creature. It's time that we undid the mistakes left by Godzilla in the past, and that starts by putting an end to you.
That's it! The final stone is in the underwater facility. I saw it in the background.
I'll stay here and make sure Godzilla doesn't stir up any more trouble. Hurry!
I set off and arrived at the facility only to find that the ocean was now frozen solid from the Ice Age. I treaded slowly across the ice and back to the location of the lab. Should be right below me here. I then blasted the ice with my power and the artifact floated up to the surface. Perfect! Time to end this freeze fest once and for all. I then headed back to the power plant and unlocked the gate, allowing me to finally enter the facility. I then walked into the vat, growing larger and unlocking new powers. I unleashed my radioactive energy. Just then, the world started to return to normal, ending the Ice Age. Shimu's wrath is over. Suddenly, Godzilla crashed into the facility. I had attracted his attention with my big energy surge.
Look who we have here. You're not the only one who benefits from radiation.
He started absorbing the radiation in the air, causing him to grow bigger too. I accidentally made my worst enemy even stronger. Things were looking bad.
Time to end this.
Godzilla ran in and attacked me. On days 84 through 86, I was in a heated fight against my biggest foe, Godzilla. I tried to run while I could, but there was nowhere left to run.
Do you really think you can defeat me? Your power is nowhere close to mine.
He used a powerful beam attack on me. I endured the attack and shook it off. Oh yeah? Well, take this! I fought back with my new virus blast, but even with my boost, he was upgraded too. He was too powerful.
What a pathetic attack. Let me show you what a strike feels like.
He charged at me and struck me back against a wall, leaving me vulnerable.
Your struggle is useless. The military is planning something big for day 100. When it arrives, you won't be able to stop me or any of us from killing you.
I won't let that happen. I used my powers to bring down a water tower, allowing me to escape the area before it was too late.
Run while you still can.
I quickly took cover, where I found Vito waiting for me.
Sir, are you okay?
For now I am. Godzilla has grown too powerful, but we can't let him win.
Sounds good. What's the plan?
If we want to take down the military's more powerful weapon, then I'll need my biggest upgrade yet.
But where will we find that?
I have an idea, but it's risky. Think you can handle it?
Anything for you.
Then let's see how potent our virus really is. On days 87 through 89, we returned to the city and set out our plan. Vito, you make your way through the city to see if you can find the next power plant. I'll start here and infect as many people as I can.
Got it. Good luck, sir.
Vito left to go search, and I began looking for my first targets. After a bit of searching, I found a parade of people in a circle with 2 mascot kaijus in the center. What are they doing over there? I watched as little mascots of the kaijus dance around and the people watching jump for joy.
Woohoo! Godzilla will save us from that nasty infected sky!
Nuh-uh. Mechagodzilla is way cooler. He'll be the one to take that ugly monster down. No doubt about it.
The 2 people began to argue until another person walked up between them.
Guys, clearly there's only one way to settle this argument. With a dance battle.
Oh man, I gotta see how this turns out. I watched as the mascot Godzilla and Mechagodzilla stepped up to face off in an epic dance battle.
Check out these moves.
The Mecha mascot went first as he did a little jig move and finished with a crazy front flip.
Caught that.
Don't worry, everyone. Your savior is here.
The mascot Godzilla started with a crazy 2-step hop move that electrified the crowd. He then finished it off with an amazing atomic breath.
Looks like it's settled. Godzilla is the winner.
That was really cool and all, but I think I'm gonna have to crash this party. Everyone ran for their lives, and I began to truly unleash my powers onto them. My powers started infecting the people of the city, corrupting them into Vitrans like Vito. Soon enough, I had a small army of minions to fight by my side. Go forth, my minions! Find me where the final power plant is! The Vitrans did my bidding and left the area to spread the virus everywhere. Wow, my power has really grown since day 1. I was only just a baby when I got here. Must consume more power! I began my rampage on the city, infecting civilians and destroying anything that dared to cross me. As I attacked, I grew larger over time, slowly becoming an even bigger threat to the world. All will bow down to me! I continued my onslaught until suddenly a flurry of bullets were fired into me. I turned and realized that the government military had arrived to stop my attack.
This is the aviation complex industry. Surrender, beast!
Make me! I began to fight back against the officers who tried their best to mow me down with their bullets. Luckily, my fleshy body protected me like armor.
Fire the missiles! Now!
The military brought out the big guns and began to rain down artillery fire onto me from the sky above. The flames burnt through my skin for massive damage. As a baby, I couldn't withstand the attacks. I was forced to run as the bombs continued to fire downwards. Suddenly, one of the infected minions approached me.
Sir, we found the next power plant, but it's under complete lockdown. Here, I made a map for you to find it with ease.
Thank you, minion. I'll just have to infiltrate it so I can grow even stronger. Suddenly, a massive laser shot throughout the city. I turned and saw that Godzilla was standing before me.
You won't move from this spot.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. My army turned and slowly approached him, buying me time to escape with my new lead.
Stay back, you filthy vermin!
With Godzilla distracted, I headed towards the map's location and I soon arrived at the facility my minion spoke of. Like he said, it was heavily guarded with seemingly no way in. I watched as anything that went near the facility got instantly vaporized. Walking inside wouldn't be wise. I have to come up with something fast. My army won't hold Godzilla off for long. On days 90 through 92, I was trying to figure out a way to infiltrate the power plant facility until I spotted some nearby radiation-draining crystals. It's dangerous, but it might just work. I have to try. I walked up and touched the crystals, causing my power to drain. As a result, I shrunk down to a smaller size, making me harder to detect. I just have to get inside and get my upgrade. I'll break these crystals later and regain my power. I broke through a small rusted hole in the gate and infiltrated the nuclear power plant. I searched for the nuclear power core, stealthing past cameras that laid in my path. Thanks to my small size, I was able to find cover quickly as the cameras monitored the rooms. Just a little more, I can sense it. I spotted a door sealed shut where I knew the nuclear core was waiting. It glowed with the radioactive energy that I needed to become the ultimate monster. I heard someone approaching, so I hid and waited for them to open the door for me. Thanks for the ticket inside, sucker. I struck down the employee when he wasn't looking, but my plan backfired as a security protocol kicked in. The space separating me from the nuclear core became an obstacle course. I turned to hear reinforcements were coming. I had to get to the core before it was too late. On days 93 through 95, I navigated my way through the obstacle course as reinforcements were about to arrive. I made sure not to make any mistakes, or it would cost my life. Without my nuclear powers, it was much more difficult. If I want to make it out alive, I have to be careful. I managed to jump over the platforms and avoid most of the obstacles, but there were a few close calls. I needed to be more careful, but there was no time to go slow. I finally reached the end of the traps and made a mad dash for the reactor. Before I could reach it, an empowered mech dropped down in front of me.
You made a mistake coming here, creature!
Let me through, you hunk of junk! I'm powerless right now! I need that reactor!
You should have thought about that before sacrificing your powers! Now is the perfect time for us to kill you once and for all!
The mech began to attack me with its electricity powers, dealing huge damage. I did my best to fight back, but without my abilities, I didn't stand a chance. Just then, I noticed he had crystal energy glowing on his back. It looked like a weak point. If I can hit that weak point, my strength will come back to me and I may stand a chance. I tried to strike him, but he dodged the attack, and I was left vulnerable. The mech immediately struck with a counterattack. I was now cornered, weak, and the mech was closing in. I was sure this is where I would die. On days 96 through 98, just as I thought I was done for, Vito jumped in, taking the finishing blow for me. Vito? No!
Take this before it's too late.
He handed me the crystal I sealed my power in, allowing me to return to my normal size. You'll pay for hurting my allies! Enraged, I struck down the mech once and for all, but the damage had already been done.
Thank you for everything. Promise me you'll take over this world like we always dreamed of.
Vito fell to the ground dead. No! I turned and faced the nuclear core. I can't let Vito's sacrifice be in vain. I went up and grabbed the nuclear core, granting me my final upgrade. I gained more hearts, increased in size, and gained new powers. I reached my full power, but at what cost? Suddenly, a cage sealed around me, trapping me inside the room. What is this?
If we can't defeat you anymore, then we will conceal you, foul beast.
Before I could act, the cage shot electricity into me, and I blacked out. On day 99, I woke up inside of a cage at a maximum security prison. I tried breaking out of the laser cell I was sealed in, but I was unable to make it budge. Is that it? Did I fail? Tomorrow is day 100, and all of this will be over.
Don't give up hope yet.
Suddenly, I saw a vision of Vito standing before me. Vito? How are you here? The humans, they killed you.
You created me, so a part of me will always be with you. You can't give up here, not yet.
Why? I was the reason you died. I couldn't protect you, and now I'm stuck in this prison.
Because you're the strongest creature I've ever met. The first time you saved me from the mecha, I saw how strong you truly were, standing fearless against a force that would have destroyed us both.
On days 58 through 61, I followed the smoke back into the city and found Vito under attack from Mecha Godzilla. He was on the ropes, and Mecha Godzilla was slowly closing in for the kill. Leave my friend alone! I charged in and used my jet laser attack to knock Mecha away from Vito.
Thanks for the help.
Don't thank me too soon. Here he comes! The mechanical kaiju charged in for round 2. Luckily, Vito and I were side by side. We used our combined powers to land a heavy blow onto Mecha Godzilla.
You cursed infections won't destroy me!
The mecha turned his focus to me and knocked me back with a powerful proton beam. Luckily, his attack on me left him vulnerable to Vito. Vito, get him now! Vito then used the opportunity to run behind Mecha Godzilla and bite down onto his tail. Mecha shattered in pain into the sky, giving me the chance to run in and strike him with a killing blow. However, when he died, Vito absorbed Mecha Godzilla's radioactive essence, growing larger and more powerful.
I know that only you have the power to rule this world, to shape its future the way it should be. You faced off with so many different monsters. I thought surely you would be defeated, but each time, win or lose, you would come back stronger than before. You always defeat anything that stands in your way, even when it seems hopeless. You are truly the strongest entity I've ever met, from Mecha Godzilla to even Shimu. You've stopped so many kaiju. Now only one more stands in your way. Don't you see? You can't give up now.
You're right. The world is almost mine, and I've waited long enough. It's time for me to take what's rightfully mine and fulfill the destiny that's been written for me. No more hesitation. No more holding back. I've come this far, and I won't stop until I've claimed it all. This world will bow to me! Suddenly, a new power awakened within me, making me stronger than ever before. I used my new willpower to break out of the cell by force. I felt so strong, I unleashed a mighty roar into the sky. Outside the walls of the prison, I spotted another strange creature scurrying away. Did you all find all the Easter eggs? Rewatch the video and comment below where they are. As I jumped into the ocean, ready to cross the sea and wreak havoc on the next city, Godzilla emerged before me.
You dare defy me?
I'm not afraid. This world will face my wrath. On day 100, I clashed with Godzilla in the final epic battle to decide the fate of the world. He used his atomic breath attack on me, trying to take me down with his radiation. Luckily, I also grew over my journey.
You're not as weak as you once were. You were only just a morsel when we first met all those days ago.
Mayday! Mayday! We need backup now! Bring in the special forces!
The remaining troops fled the area and the ground began to tremble beneath my feet. Big, heavy footsteps approached my location. I turned and found the military had released their secret weapon. It was the king of the monsters, Godzilla! I braced myself as the radioactive kaiju lunged forward, getting ready to attack me. On day 3, I was clashing with Godzilla in an epic radioactive monster brawl. He was using his atomic breath to melt me down, and I did my best to avoid the blasts. Eventually, I ran out of places to evade and got pelted by the blast, sending me back. Ugh, this guy is tough. I'll need to become stronger if I want to withstand his attacks. I tried to unleash my infected abilities in an attempt to take the beast down, but it was clear that his nuclear power outmatched mine greatly.
You will return to the Earth where you belong.
You'll have to make me.
As you wish.
Godzilla hit me with another atomic breath attack, causing me to take big damage. I returned the favor with my own beam attack, but he was so powerful he didn't even flinch.
You have much to learn.
He started walking up to me menacingly. I had to escape and find cover if I wanted to survive. Before he could blast me again, I slipped away and hid behind a nearby building to think of a new plan. He's definitely too strong for me to face right now. Just then, Godzilla closed in on my location.
Come out, little one. Face me in battle.
Godzilla began using his power to melt buildings to try and find me.
Godzilla, we want to reduce civilian casualties as much as possible. Stop destroying the city buildings.
Step aside, human. I don't tell you how to do your job.
Godzilla ignored the officer and continued to blast buildings in an attempt to locate me. I need to get out of this city or I'm toast! I quickly retreated outside the city limits and into a cave where I could hide underground. It wasn't long until Godzilla quickly found my hiding spot and waited at the entrance.
You won't get away that easily.
The kaiju roared, unleashing his power onto the land. Without warning, purple crystals sprouted up all over the cave, causing me to feel weaker and weaker. My energy, I feel it draining. It has to be the crystals. I tried to shatter the crystals, but they kept growing back. Instead, I continued to run forward as my body grew weaker and weaker. This is bad. I might not make it.
You were weak then, just as you're weak now. You might have gotten stronger, but that won't stop me from defeating you.
You wish. I've been training, and you all killed my most loyal follower. I must avenge his death right here, right now.
We'll see about that.
He unleashed another powerful atomic breath attack to turn the tide of the battle. I endured the hit and came in for a counterattack. I used one of my own laser attacks to dig into Godzilla's armor. It was anyone's game.
Why do you stand against your creator, the one who gave you life and power? Have you truly forgotten where you came from? Why must you keep fighting?
Because I'm my own creature now. This world doesn't belong to you or the humans. It'll belong to me.
Foolish child, do you think you can take what is not yours? Strength isn't everything.
Maybe not, but not you or the humans will stand in the way of my destiny. I hit him with a devastating blast attack, but he endured it, standing strong.
I won't go down without a fight.
He used his powers to create radioactive draining crystals around me, weakening me by the second. I had to get rid of these, fast! I managed to let out a powerful roar, which turned the crystals into infected spikes, powering me up even more.
How is this possible? I will not be defeated by the likes of you. Feel the full force of my ultimate attack.
He then unleashed a powerful attack, which I quickly dodged, leaving him open. I ran in, going for the finishing blow, striking down Godzilla once and for all. The world is now mine! Until suddenly a strange energy emerged from where Godzilla had fallen. I watched with confusion as it rushed towards me and entered my body. I was now becoming a different version of Godzilla. On day 101, I spawned into a city as a powerful Godzilla. Whoa! Well, I guess I know what I should do. I decided to start wrecking the place with all of my amazing Godzilla powers. What else does Godzilla do? As Godzilla, I had 50 hearts and the ability to fire a massive laser of radiation from my mouth. With my incredible powers, I melted buildings down left and right. I'm so powerful! Suddenly, something shot a missile at me. I turned around and spotted Mecha Godzilla.
Your rampage ends here.
Aw, man, I'm just being a kaiju. The two of us had a battle of epic proportions, firing powerful attacks back and forth. The city around us crumbled as we fought with everything we had. I blasted away with my variety of attacks while Mechagodzilla fired at me with his arsenal of explosives. I tried to use my powerful roar as massive jaws to dwindle down the robot's health, but his armor protected him from my attacks. I switched to firing laser attacks in hopes of causing more damage to Mechagodzilla. However, for every attack I landed, he would hit me 10 times harder. Despite my efforts, Mechagodzilla was too powerful. He took the chance to fire a strange purple beam at me, but instead of dying, I shrank down. I now only had 10 hearts and my scales were purple. What did you do to me?
I have placed a curse on you to conceal your powers, and I will continue to spread this curse on everything that threatens humanity.
In this state, I was powerless, so I ran away before Mechagodzilla could kill me. On day 102, I managed to escape Mechagodzilla and found myself in a strange biome. What's going on here? Suddenly, I was ambushed by a horde of cursed creepers. Did these guys get affected by the curse too? I tried to use my radiation beam on the enemies, but nothing happened. The curse took away my old powers. I began to fend them off with my fists instead, but the overwhelming amount of enemies was too much for me in this state. I was going to lose. Just as I thought I was finished, I suddenly used a new cursed power, shooting cursed matter out of my mouth. Whoa! I couldn't do that before! I used my new cursed power to blast everyone around me, thinning out the horde and slowly wearing them all down. I kept using the power over and over again, until there were only a few cursed creepers remaining. After a lot of fighting, I managed to take down the horde of mobs. Looks like I have cursed powers now. I wonder what else I could learn.
Oh no! We didn't account for the radiation he has! The curse is only making him stronger!
I turned around and realized the army was waiting with their weapons ready to fire.
You're going down before you get any more powerful!
On day 103, I was being attacked by the army. I was still weak from my previous battle, but I couldn't give in no matter what. I fought them off the best I could, but in my small size, it was hopeless. Suddenly, I felt a surge of power within me and grew bigger. What the? The army of soldiers showered me with a hail of bullets. I used my cursed matter to light them on fire, but it wasn't doing enough damage. Suddenly, I gained the power to form a black hole. It began lifting the soldiers and tossing them around the landscape. I started dwindling down the numbers one after the other. Whoa, I guess I can learn to control the curse. I wonder just how strong I can become. I was beginning to get the one-up on them when a tank appeared out of nowhere. Bring it on! They charged at me with full force. I tried using the black hole again, but couldn't muster enough strength to form it. I had to go back to the basics. I used my cursed matter to mow down the tank's health, and just like that, I destroyed it. My new power was too intense for them to keep up. I made all the humans retreat to safety.
Just you wait. We'll curse all of the other kaiju. Without the radiation you possess, they'll be overtaken in a blind rage.
Oh no! I have to warn the others before Mechagodzilla infects them too! On days 104 through 108, I explored the overworld for monsters that needed help. On the way, I decided to gather some materials. I punched down some trees, made a crafting bench, then crafted a wooden pickaxe. Afterwards, I mined some cobblestone and upgraded to stone tool. These will be useful, at least while I'm still small. Suddenly, I spotted King Kong picking on a herd of innocent sheep. That's not like him at all! He must be cursed! I quickly ran out and confronted the oversized ape. Hey Kong, remember me? It's Max!
Puny lizard enrages King Kong.
The monkey suddenly attacked me, pounding me with his axe to deal loads of damage. I used my cursed matter to push him back and gain some distance in between us. Luckily, he was slow, so I was able to regain some of my health. He rushed in and slammed his axe against the ground, causing me to launch up into the air. I tried to fight back, but he was too powerful. I ran away while I still had a chance. Looks like it's time for Plan B. I took out my new stone shovel and got to digging a massive hole, big enough to capture King Kong inside. Once I was finished, I baited the trap of the sheep and waited for King Kong to notice. Luckily, he took the bait and charged full speed towards the sheep, causing him to fall into the pit below. Got him! I looked into the pit below and saw that he was unconscious. Sorry, buddy. I'll let you out once I find a cure. On days 109 through 112, I took my moment of peace to make a safe hideout for myself. I started by gathering more materials so that I had plenty to work with for my build. Next, I slashed down some animals for their meat and cooked them up in a furnace. I may be a kaiju, but I can appreciate a well-cooked meal. I then got to work on my base. I used the materials I had gathered to build a simple structure. I made sure it was bigger than I needed so it could accommodate my size as I continued to grow in the future. It's not much, but it's a start. Once I was done with my base, I reinforced King Kong's prison in case he tried to escape later. Just as I was about to finish, the ape woke up.
King Kong angry! King Kong destroy!
The curse is affecting him differently than me. It's like it's consuming him. I have to cure him before he hurts himself. On days 113 through 115, I went out to find a way to remove my curse. During my travels, I spotted another corrupted biome. Maybe a clue lies there. I roamed the area and searched for anything that could help my situation. Eventually, I came across a strange laboratory in ruins. I wonder what happened here. I investigated the area around the laboratory further to find that it was infested with cursed spiders. Oh no! Even the normal entities are being affected. The cursed spiders began nibbling at my feet, so I had no choice but to fight back. My immense size made this battle an easy one, but their spider bites did some considerable damage to me. I used my black hole power to keep them away from me and slowly picked them off one by one. The horde of spiders began to dwindle and I finally destroyed the last one. After the battle was finished, I searched through the rubble and discovered a mysterious book. The cursed crystal will absorb the curse from its victims if tended before their time is up. Otherwise, the victim will die from the curse's effects. That means we're on a timer. I gotta get this crystal fast. Suddenly, I began to hear loud footsteps approaching my direction. Uh-oh. Someone's coming! The footsteps continued until Mechagodzilla appeared. I quickly ran from the area, knowing I wasn't ready to fight him. On days 116 through 119, I was being chased by Mechagodzilla. He fired attacks at me as I ran for my life. As I tried to escape, I spotted the ocean and decided to jump in to throw the robot off of my tail. To my surprise, I was able to breathe underwater. I guess as Godzilla, I have water breathing too. I waited in hiding as Mechagodzilla walked by.
You cannot hide forever. I'll destroy all of you worthless creatures.
The mech left, but I didn't know where he went, so I decided to explore the ocean. Ooh, that was close. I took the chance to look around and spotted a strange entrance under the water. What's that? I went ahead and swam through the gap to discover an underwater temple. Whoa, what sort of secrets do you hold? I explored the different nooks and crannies of the temple until finally arriving inside of a treasure room. At its center was a mysterious artifact. That must be the cursed crystal! I grabbed it for safekeeping when suddenly a cursed Ender Guardian attacked me. He was super tough and shot at me with his cursed bubble beam. It was hard to evade his attacks in the water, so I had to be careful. I fought back with my cursed matter and started to wear him down from afar. Whenever I got the chance, I came with my bite attack and took chunks out of his health bit by bit. I even tried using my black hole power in the water, creating a crazy swirling whirlpool. With one final blow, I put the cursed fish in his place. Perfect! I'll use this crystal to get rid of my curse too. I tried to use the artifact, but nothing happened. Wait a second, I think they did mention that my radiation protected me. Maybe that's why I can control the curse. This artifact might not work on me, but will definitely help the other kaijus. On days 120 through 123, I returned to my base and discovered that King Kong was missing. Oh no, he escaped! I searched around and quickly found him wreaking havoc on a nearby city. Kong, you need to stop. The curse is taking control of you.
King Kong kill Lizard Captor.
Stop! I want to help! Kong refused to listen to my pleas and charged at me and began to attack. I tried to use the power of the cursed crystal, but I wasn't able to while King Kong was enraged. I had to get a hold of him first. The two of us fought with everything we had. This time, King Kong was stronger than before as the curse had progressed even further. He attacked me with his powerful axe, dealing loads of damage to me and the surrounding area. I did my best to evade him and shot at him with my curse matter attack. Whenever he got too close, I would bite down onto him with my massive jaws. But even with my strength, he was still overpowering me. Come on! I need to get stronger! Suddenly, I managed to gain even more control over the curse and grew larger. With my new size, I now had 20 hearts and acquired the ability of Daybreak to help me fight. I began to blast down King Kong with my new curse power, sending slow and powerful projectiles in his direction. Thanks to my new curse power, I took King Kong down. Since Kong was weakened, it gave me the opportunity to use the artifact on him. When activated, he became no longer enraged and returned to normal.
Right. That was rough. Sorry for attacking you. I'm not sure what came over me.
It's alright. The curse must have been affecting your body differently. Since you're back to normal, would you want to form a team? I need to find more kaiju to make sure this curse doesn't hurt anyone else.
I'm in.
On days 124 through 127, I returned home and started expanding my base. I began making a room for King Kong, making sure to account for his large size. What do you think?
Haha, kinda reminds me of the cage you kept me in.
Sorry, buddy. After that, I headed underground to go mining. While I was down there, I had an idea. I began tearing through the rock with my razor-sharp teeth. I was able to quickly clear a path, and in the process found iron. Now that's a lot more efficient than a pickaxe. After mining, I went back to my base, making a sheep pen for an unlimited supply of food. With that, my expansion was complete. After expanding the base, Kong and I chatted about the effects of the curse and how we should stop it.
That curse, it changed me, man. I lost all control of myself. It could feel my body giving out on me.
That's why it's so important I find the other kaiju. I have to free them from it before someone gets killed.
Well, I'd say your best bet is checking out Skull Island. There you can find Mothra. She might be of some help.
Kong then tossed me a map. Thanks, man. I'll check it out. On days 128 through 130, I made my way towards Skull Island. On the way, I found King Ghidorah burning down a forest. Ugh, why did it have to be those guys? Whatever, I need to warn Kevin about the curse. I walked over to the three and tried to greet them to the best of my abilities. Hi, Kevin! Ichi, Ni. Ichi and Ni didn't seem to be all that amused to see me, but at least Kevin was. Oh, Kevin.
Hey, Godzilla! How are you?
Not too great, actually.
I'll say, where's your mommy, babysitter? Oh, good one, me.
Yeah, very funny. Actually, that's why I'm here. I came to warn you guys that Mechagodzilla is spreading a curse to all kaiju, which means you three as well.
Oh no! No tiny curse is going to affect us. Maybe it would for a weakling like you.
I swear, Kevin is the only good head on your shoulders.
Oh, thank you!
Angered by the two buffoons, I stormed off to find more kaijus who were affected by the curse. I'll show them who's boss. I just need to become strong again.
Bye, Bessie!
On days 131 through 134, I had finally arrived at Skull Island. I immediately spotted a small group of skeleturtles roaming around on the beach. Oh, creepy, but somehow cute? A frightened villager had noticed my arrival and began to flee into the jungle.
Run! It's Godzilla!
I followed behind them to see if I could find any leads on what Kong had me searching for. Suddenly, I heard a voice off in the distance. It was Mechagodzilla talking to someone.
I will destroy all of the kaijus, and you're next on the list.
Why are you doing this?
You and all the others pose too much of a threat and must be deleted from this world.
Getting a better view of the conversation, I realized he was talking to Mothra. I need to get in there and help her. I ran in between them and began attacking Mechagodzilla. Using my curse matter to push him back, we prepared for battle. Let's take him on, together!
Okay.
The two of us combined our strength and began to take on Mechagodzilla in battle. The giant robot was a force to be reckoned with. He had powerful missiles that dug into Mothra and I for massive damage. The two of us fought with everything we had, but his armor seemed impenetrable. Even so, we kept fighting. Gradually, the giant mecha lizard seemed to be weakening in strength. With Mothra fighting alongside me, we are beginning to pull ahead. Don't let up! We almost got him! I could tell we were close to beating him, but before we could stop him, he deployed the curse onto Mothra.
I won't let you interfere with my plans any further.
No!
Good luck dealing with this new and improved version of the curse.
Mechagodzilla fled from the area, leaving me to deal with her. Uh-oh. I turned back to see her facing away from me and making odd noises. Hey, you okay there, bud? I tried my best to get her attention, but before I could walk over to her, she transformed into an even larger kaiju. She turned around and lunged straight at me. Ah! On days 135 through 138, I was locked in battle with Mothra. She had a crazy new curse power that was able to fire powerful projectiles. I didn't want to hurt my friend, but I couldn't let her overpower me either. I fought back with my cursed matter attack as well as my Daybreaker attack. Mothra tried to fly in close to deal some damage, but I would counterattack with my powerful jaws. Every chance I had, I tried to snap her out of her blind rage. Mothra, listen to me! You can overcome the curse! Just breathe! Eventually, I was able to talk her down and she regained control.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me.
I'm just happy you're with me now. Seems like you're able to resist the curse like me, because you're radioactive. Let me try to remove it with my crystal. I tried using my crystal on her, but nothing happened. Huh, I guess the radiation prevents me from removing your curse too.
Oh, that's okay. I'll just...
Suddenly, she started losing control again. Eventually, I was able to talk her back down, and we continued talking. Seems like you don't have full control over the curse.
I'm sorry. I'm just not as strong as you.
Don't worry, I'll take care of you when you lose control.
Thank you so much. So, what brings you to Skull Island?
I'm looking for kaiju to help free them from the curse, and Kong sent me here to find help. I'm guessing he meant you?
I'd be happy to.
Mothra started leading me somewhere when we came across some more skeleturtles. Excuse me? You guys aren't cursed turtles, are you?
No, we're just like this.
Oh, okay. Carry on.
Nice guy.
On days 139 through 142, I explored Skull Island with Mothra. She was surprisingly knowledgeable about the area. First, she took me to a spot with a giant skull.
This is the spot where Kong and I usually hang out.
Spooky, but oddly cozy. Mothra went inside one of the eye sockets, then turned around to face me.
Surprise!
She tossed over some homemade cookies. Whoa, thanks! The two of us munched on the snacks and continued with our tour. Next, we arrived at a human-run radio tower.
These guys are always on the lookout for kaiju.
How do they do that?
They have a computer that's able to locate them.
Kaiju locating gear could be useful for our cause. I walked over to the tower in hopes of getting some use out of their tech, but I was stopped by a group of soldiers. Let me through!
No way! We're gonna kill all of you kaiju!
Before I could respond, the army began to fire at me full force. I had no choice but to fight back. I fired at the army with my powerful cursed abilities. Each hit dwindled them down, but their sheer numbers were still enough to make the fight difficult. Luckily, Mothra flew in to help me take on the army, using her own cursed abilities to melt through their numbers. After a long battle, I managed to blow away all of the soldiers, leaving only one remaining.
I surrender!
Then tell me where the next kaiju is. The soldier dropped a map titled Kamakuras and ran away as fast as he could. I didn't want to hurt them, but I didn't have a choice.
Maybe one day the humans will come to their senses.
With our new lead, Mothra and I headed back to the base to prepare for the journey ahead. On days 143 through 145, I returned home with Mothra to find what looked like a giant rose flower fighting King Kong. I quickly rushed in and started fighting the thing. With our powers combined, we were able to take the thing down, but then it just grew back bigger. Mothra jumped into the fight and started using her powers on it too. The two of us shot down at the massive flower with our range attacks, while King Kong went in close with his axe to deal massive amounts of damage. But even with the brute strength of 3 kaiju, the horrifying monster was able to hang on. It had vicious attacks that dealt great amounts of damage. They would even occasionally set my friends on fire. But despite everything, we continued to push through, no matter how difficult the battle would become. Gradually, we tore through the flower's immense armor and dealt more and more damage to it. Finally, with all of our powers combined, we were able to take the thing down once and for all. What the heck was that thing? Suddenly, I started absorbing the thing's cursed energy, and I could feel myself growing stronger. I gained 10 hearts and grew a little bit bigger. Whoa, sweet! Then I noticed that even though Mothra was cursed, she didn't get anything from it. Hey, that's not fair.
Oh, it's okay. Maybe next time.
Man, you're really getting the short end of the stick here, huh?
I'm just happy I'm not totally insane.
Yeah, good point. I turned to Kong, who was staring where the mutated rose used to be.
Even the plants are getting mutated now? What's next?
I know. This is getting way out of hand.
We have to stop Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, as quickly as possible.
What are we gonna do?
I have a plan. We just need to keep finding cursed kaiju and curing them, and then recruit them to our team. Eventually, we'll be powerful enough to take him down.
Sounds good to me. Where do we start?
I have a map that will lead me to Kamakuras, the giant praying mantis. On days 146 through 149, I was following the map when I suddenly spotted a group of strange-looking skeletons. What's that? I took a closer look and realized they were cursed humans. There, a normal human was running for their life.
Help! Someone help me!
Don't worry, I'll help. I ran in to protect the person in trouble, and the horde of cursed humans turned to attack me. The army showered me in arrows. Thanks to their cursed power, they were surprisingly scrappy, but I shot down the skeletons with my Daybreaker and cursed matter to retaliate. Once they were weakened enough by my ranged attacks, I leaned in close with my biting attack to rack up some extra damage. Finally, I used my black hole to lift the weakened skeletons into the air and finish them off once they hit the ground. I'm sorry! I killed the remainder of the skeletons, leaving only me and the normal human. I'm sorry about your friends. What's going on here?
Mechagodzilla deemed humanity a threat to themselves. Now he's going on a rampage and crushing everyone in sight.
Mechagodzilla has gone rogue?
Yeah, I'm sorry for the pain my people have caused you. Now our own creation is turning on us.
Suddenly, the human began to act strange.
Oh no, the curse! It's too late for me!
The human transformed into a cursed skeleton before my very eyes. I tried to use the crystal, but it wouldn't work. I'm sorry, buddy. I couldn't let the curse continue to spread, so I took the skeleton down. This has gone too far. I had to take down Mechagodzilla before he curses the entire world. On days 150 through 152, I continued following the map to find the next kaiju. Looks like I'm almost there. I had arrived at the location marked on the map to see that the area had already been corrupted by the curse. Oh no! I better warn Kamakuras quick! Moving forward, I had finally found him looking confused in a clearing.
My home. It's transforming into something strange.
That's what I came to warn you about! Suddenly, the ground started shaking and Mechagodzilla appeared.
Another life form remains uncursed.
Before I could react, he cursed Kamakuras and left me to deal with the aftermath. I looked towards the praying mantis nervously. Kamakuras? The corrupted bug charged at me, and I was forced to fight him off. Due to the curse, Kamakuras was now able to perform a powerful roaring attack. He shot shockwaves at me that tore through my scales and dealt massive damage. I continued to fight through it regardless, using my biting attack at the mantis whenever I got the chance. Unfortunately, his roar was so strong that it would send me flying. I switched to ranged attacks instead and shot him down with my cursed matter and Daybreaker.
I will destroy you, you overgrown crocodile.
I'm trying to help! The longer the battle raged on, the closer I was brought to the brink of death. I wasn't sure how much longer I could hang on. Does my journey end here? Just as I thought I was about to lose, I felt a strange feeling inside of me. I gained more control of my cursed powers, causing me to grow in size, gain 10 hearts, and a new roar ability. Whoa! Let's see what this does. I unleashed my powers full force onto Kamakuras. I now was able to send a powerful roaring attack back in his direction. The two of us battled neck and neck, trying to outroar the other one. Luckily for me, my new control over the curse gave me the boost I needed. After a long battle, I managed to finally weaken the praying mantis enough to use my cursed crystal. The cursed crystal absorbed all of his cursed energy, causing him to return to normal.
My head. What happened?
Mechagodzilla cursed you. He's trying to curse the entire world.
My home was destroyed because of him. Let me join your cause.
The more the merrier. I handed him a map to the base, but Kamakuras had something else to say.
Before I go, I have something to tell you. When I was cursed, I had a vision. I saw massive amounts of water and a gigantic aquatic beast. Awaiting on the other side was Mechagodzilla, destroying everything around him. I believe that on the other side of the ocean, Mechagodzilla is scheming something big.
Then there's no time to waste. On days 157 through 159, I dove into the ocean and started my long swim towards Kamakuras' lead. The journey was long, and after a lot of traveling, I was beginning to get tired. Just then, I spotted an island in the distance. Whew, maybe I could stop and rest there for a bit. I arrived onto the shore and realized the place was crawling with weird-looking monsters. What is this place?
Hi, I'm Little Godzilla. Welcome to the island of Misfit Kaiju. Are you bootleg purple Godzilla?
Excuse you? I'm cursed.
Don't see your differences as a curse. See them as a gift. Come with me.
I followed the little Godzilla around the island for the tour he prepared.
Over here is King Ghidorah.
Hiya, Godzilla. How are you doing today, buddy?
You're looking great, pal.
Wow, you're much nicer than my King Ghidorah. A little stiffer, though. We continued on with our tour, taking me to a strange green kaiju.
This is Frank.
What's wrong with him?
Nothing, he's just like that.
Little Godzilla finally took me to our last stop where two strange kaiju were yelling at each other.
I hate you!
Beep boop beep, you smell?
What's going on?
Oh, that's just Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla. They're always fighting.
Wow, that's a coincidence. Anyways, this was great and all, but I think there was a big misunderstanding. I gotta go.
You wanna leave? Nobody leaves this island.
I looked around and all of the kaiju were staring at me.
Join us. Join us. Join us.
Ah! Without a moment to waste, I jumped into the water and swam away. On days 160 through 163, I was continuing my travels towards Mechagodzilla when suddenly I heard someone calling for help. Help! Help! What's that? I swam towards the source to find that a villager's boat was being attacked by the whale god. The whale god must be cursed. I have to help him. I swam in as fast as I could to intervene. We were fighting in the whale god's domain, but luckily I was an amazing swimmer too. The whale god was able to perform a sonic boom attack under the water. He shot massive sonic waves at me, which dealt massive damage. But I wasn't about to give up that easily. I used my new roar attack to deal tons of damage and my curse matter to hit him from afar. Whenever he got too close, I bit him with my powerful jaws. After a difficult fight, I managed to weaken the whale god enough to use my cursed crystal. Unfortunately, nothing seemed to happen.
What are you doing with that thing?
Aren't you cursed?
No, that boat just doesn't belong here. In my ocean!
Wow, rude. I shot one of my cursed attacks at him to scare him off, leaving me and the villager alone.
Thank you for all of your help. Take this.
The villager gave me a ton of steak.
I'm going to tell all the other villagers how cool you are.
Oh, shucks. Thanks. With the conflict resolved, I continued on my way. On days 164 through 167, I arrived on the other side of the ocean to find a massive factory. What's going on here? I investigated the area to find several rows of mini Mechagodzillas being built. This is insane! He's making his own army? I continued to explore around the factory and found Mechagodzilla in the distance. I hunkered down in a nice hiding spot to listen in on any vital details.
Soon enough, my army will grow large enough to spread the curse across the entire world.
Is he monologuing to himself?
Nobody will be able to survive, not even that pesky Godzilla. Let Phase 3 commence.
What's Phase 3? Suddenly, he transformed into an upgraded Mechagodzilla. What the?
With this new form, no one can stop me.
This is not good. I gotta tell the others. Just as I was about to leave, Mechagodzilla spotted me.
Eliminate!
The massive robot charged me with a brand new ability. Not only could he fire powerful lasers and missiles like before, but he could also now strike me with lightning. I did my best to evade him, since every hit would deal massive damage to me. Even though he was powerful, I knew this was my time to show Mechagodzilla just how strong I had become too. I fired my Curse Matter attack at him as well as my Daybreaker to try and pierce through his new armor. I knew if I got too close, he would kill me quickly, so I kept the battle at a distance. Despite how much I had grown, I was still no match for the newly upgraded Mechagodzilla. I fled with my tail between my legs before he could take my life. On days 168 through 170, I returned home feeling defeated.
What's wrong?
Everything. Mechagodzilla is only getting stronger and stronger, and it feels like I can't keep up. At this rate, he's gonna curse the entire world.
You're getting stronger too, and you have something he doesn't.
What's that?
Us.
You know what? You're right. Thanks, Kong. I was feeling motivated after King Kong's words, so I decided to give our little base a facelift. I started by finally making Kamakuras a proper room to call his own.
This looks wonderful, thank you.
Just then, the villager I had saved from the boat came up to me. Oh, hello again. How can I help you?
My friends and family have nowhere to go. The cursed biome is spreading too quickly.
Say no more. I got to work on a safe haven for the villagers to stay in, making sure they had everything they needed to be safe.
You promise you won't step on us?
Not on purpose.
Thank you for everything. Actually, I think I heard of another kaiju just north of here. Maybe they can help you on your journey.
I do need to get stronger. I'll go pay them a visit. On days 171 through 174, I traveled towards the kaiju I was informed of to find a strange area covered in webs. I wonder what lives here. I tried to stomp my way through the webs, assuming that my size would make them ineffective on me. To my surprise, the webs were strong enough to stop me in my tracks. What the? How could these webs stop me? Just then, a giant spider emerged. It was none other than the kaiju Kumanga.
Well. Looks like I'm having lizard for dinner.
No, wait! I think you're the kaiju I was looking for. I explained to Kumanga my quest to stop Mechagodzilla before he could curse the world and how I needed their help.
Well, I guess the curse has been a real pain in my side. I'll help you, but for a price.
What do I have to do?
I need you to defeat Cursed King Ghidorah.
What? They managed to get cursed?
That pesky kaiju has been burning down my forests. Now that they're cursed, it's even worse. Either remove the curse or kill them.
Oh no. On days 175 through 177, I arrived at the spot where Kumanga told me to go to find Cursed King Ghidorah destroying everything around them. Oh no! The curse really got to them! I have to save them! For Kevin! I ran in and grabbed their attention. Hey you! Your rampage ends now! Without hesitation, the three-headed kaiju attacked me. I quickly began firing my cursed matter to push them away, but it wasn't enough to phase them. They began launching devastating fireballs in my direction, causing major destruction to the surrounding area. Using my roar ability, I was able to lightly damage them. They lit the floor ablaze, making it hard to maneuver around their fury of attacks. I took one wrong step and immediately caught on fire. I could feel my health dwindling by the second. I fought with all of my might, but they were nearly as powerful as Mechagodzilla himself. Even so, I wasn't about to give up. Come on, Curse! I need more power! Suddenly, I grew in size and gained 10 hearts as well as a new cursed ability. I began attacking and realized I was shooting down beams of lightning from the clouds. King Ghidorah tried to evade my attacks, but the lightning strikes were just too fast for him. He continued to blast fireballs in my direction, occasionally hitting me, but he was clearly no match for my new strength. After a fierce battle, I struck him with one final strike and managed to win. I took out my cursed crystal and freed King Ghidorah from his curse.
What the? Max, are you okay?
I'm great now that you snapped out of it.
Oh, how embarrassing. Of all the people, why did we have to get saved by you?
Thanks, Bestie!
Also, if you don't mind not burning down the forest anymore, that'd be great.
Oh, fine. Whatever.
Okay!
With that, I headed back to report to Kumanga. Time to get even stronger. On days 178 through 181, I returned to Kumanga and reported my successful mission.
That's great news. Now it's time that I held up my end of our agreement.
The kaiju handed me a strange object. What's this?
This is an ancient artifact that holds a lot of potential. The only problem is nobody has been able to activate its power. I suspect that you could fuel it with your cursed energy.
Would this really be enough to take down Mechagodzilla?
I'm sure of it. But you need to unlock its power first. Take this map. It will lead you to another kaiju. They are evil and will be the perfect test subject.
Thank you so much for your help. Without a moment to waste, I set off in the direction of the map. On the way, I spotted a massive Godzilla statue. I'm gonna be that big soon enough. Suddenly, some random members of a Godzilla fan club ran up to me.
Oh my god, are you really the Godzilla?
The one and only.
You're so cool.
Oh yeah! Oh, please take this.
The fans handed me tons of food as a gift. This is great, thank you. I followed the map to discover a kaiju eating a bunch of helpless villagers. It was Komodotrax, and he was fully rabid. This guy is too far gone. He's gotta go down. I rushed into battle to fight the rabid kaiju and save the humans. Komodotrax had massive jaws that were able to bite through my powerful scales. I had to be careful not to get in too close, otherwise he would be able to deal loads of damage. To keep him at bay, I shot him down with my lightning beam as well as my powerful roars. When he got too close, I would bite him back and regain distance to shoot him down with my cursed matter and Daybreaker. Even though I was fighting smart, Komodotrax was too powerful. I thought I was about to lose, when suddenly the artifact I had received activated spontaneously. The power is surging through me! The cursed entity gave me an extra 10 hearts and the ability to shoot cursed lasers. Nice! Let's finish this! With my new power, I took down the monster with ease. I looked to the ground to see a little villager cheering me on. Thank you, little one. It's nothing, really.
Mr. Godzilla, sir? Are you gonna destroy all the monsters?
Well, we're not all monsters. Most of us want to live in peace like you guys.
Then why did that one that you just killed want to eat us?
He just got a little too sick is all. I wanted to help him, but I couldn't save him in time.
I believe in you, Mr. Godzilla.
Thanks, kid. I then left the area feeling a lot more confident for when I had to face Mechagodzilla. On days 186 through 189, I arrived at the base to find Mothra in a really excited mood. Hey, what's all the hubbub?
I had a baby!
A baby? Just then, a giant larva baby revealed itself. Holy cow! It's huge!
Isn't she cute?
I guess.
I said, isn't she cute?
Oh yeah, of course. She's so adorable and squishy looking.
That's right. Oh, I would just die if anything happened to her.
Suddenly, the baby started crying. Oh no, what's wrong with it?
Oh, she's hungry. Would you be a doll and fetch me some supplies? I have my hands full here, so I need you to do it.
Okay, what do you need? Mothra then dropped me a long list of stuff that she needed for her new baby. You need all of this?
Hurry up!
Okay! I quickly rushed out to look for the supplies she needed. I traveled far and wide to grab all of the necessary supplies for Mothra's baby. The list was very extensive, but after a lot of hunting, I managed to gather everything that was needed. Once the shopping list was completed, I returned to Mothra and her baby at the base.
You got the things I asked for?
Sure did. I dropped everything she requested and the baby got really excited.
Daddy?
Huh? Oh no.
Daddy!
Sorry, gotta go! I left Mothra to tend to her child and focused on finding Mechagodzilla. On days 190 through 192, I began my recon of Mechagodzilla and his factory. When I arrived, I discovered his goons working on a strange cursed device. What's that? Just then, a human soldier walked up to me.
That's Mechagodzilla's cursed device. I've been scouting out here too to learn more about it.
What does it do?
It's a device capable of spreading the curse over a wide radius. If it's completed, Mechagodzilla will curse the entire world.
We have to stop him!
That's the spirit, soldier. Take this.
The soldier handed me a new set of mecha armor. Whoa, thank you!
Now, onward! Rah!
No, wait! Before he could be stopped, he was instantly killed by one of the mecha goons. Yikes. I better come back with a plan first. Otherwise, I'll be toast. On days 193 through 195, I discovered an abandoned tank on the way back to my base. Huh. This gives me an idea. I stepped onto the tank and began to skate around for fun. I was surprisingly good at tank skating. I went up and down hills and even did multiple 360s. Who said a kaiju couldn't have a bit of fun? Just then, a horde of cursed creepers attacked me. I used my new tank skates to speed around my enemies and fought off the horde of cursed creepers. My main attack was my lightning, which I used in quick succession to light multiple of the cursed creepers on fire. Whenever I felt they were getting too close, I skated to a new spot. With my speed, there was no way they could catch me. I continued the barrage of lightning, igniting creeper after creeper. Thanks to my new tank, I managed to defeat every last one of the mobs. That was surprisingly fun. I skated back to the base on my new tank and found King Kong waiting for me.
Nice skates, my dude.
Thanks. Actually, I have something I need to tell you guys. I got Kong up to speed on the cursed device and how I needed to find a way to stop it.
The only way to stop a device like that is to absorb its power.
Well, my cursed crystal should do just the trick. Thanks, Kong. I was about to head off towards Mechagodzilla when suddenly Mothra flew up to me in a frenzy.
Someone kidnapped my baby!
Oh no! We gotta act fast! On days 196 through 197, I headed in the direction that Mothra told me to and got a whiff of a strange smell. Is that soup? I pushed on a bit further and discovered a giant cursed human cooking up Mothra's baby in a pot. Without a moment to waste, I rushed in. Stop right there! Yeah, he's too far gone. It's fighting time. The cursed human had a powerful blade which he charged at me with everything he had. I tried to use my jaws to bite him down up close, but I was taking too much damage. To avoid his attacks, I made some distance between us and began to fire at him with all the different powers I had gained over my journey. Unfortunately for me, his cursed blade also shot strange green projectiles. I had to evade them and shoot at him with everything I had. I used my lightning beam, daybreaker, curse matter, and even my new curse lasers. All of my firepower dug into the monster, dealing tons of damage. Even so, the cursed human continued his onslaught. The battle was tough. The curse had mutated him beyond the power of any human I had faced before. He had the strength of a kaiju. For Mothra! Suddenly, I gained even more control of my cursed power. I grew in size, gained 10 hearts, and the ability to shoot wither skulls. To close the gap, I began to fire away with my new power. They did just the trick, and the cursed human began to weaken more and more. Despite my struggles, I managed to overpower the cursed entity. After the fight was over, I rushed to the pot and freed the baby.
Daddy!
I'm not your dad! I returned to the base and reunited Mothra with her child.
Oh, thank you so much.
No problem. On day 198, I decided to do some last-minute changes to the base before facing Mechagodzilla. I started by changing some of the blocks around to better reflect my cursed powers. Next, I made a small play area for Mothra's baby. I even made sure to add a chest full of colorful wool so he could build some things for fun. Once I was done, the baby started playing right away.
Daddy, look! I made a heart for you.
I'm not your dad, but that's adorable. Lastly, I made a little garden for the villager sanctuary, so they had plenty of food to eat. Finally, my base was complete. Not too shabby. With that, I gathered everyone around to say some parting words. I'm going to face Mechagodzilla and end this before his curse infects the world.
Can we come too?
No, only I have enough radiation to protect me from the curse's effects. It's best you guys stay put where it's safe.
We believe in you, Max.
I set off for the final battle towards Mechagodzilla's lair. On day 199, I arrived at Mechagodzilla's factory and discovered the device was missing. What the? Am I too late?
Intruder!
I turned around and found that an army of mecha goons were waiting for me. You're going down, Tinker Toys! They began to rush me all at once. I had grown so powerful that I was able to use my roar and wither skulls simultaneously. I lit the mechs ablaze, taking them down one by one. They continued to rush me, but the battle was moving in my favor. I struck them with my lightning, causing the remaining few to short circuit and become nothing but heaps of scrap metal. Despite their numbers, I managed to defeat the entire army of mecha goons. I've really gotten stronger, huh? Upon their death, one of them dropped a note. Mechagodzilla has already arrived in the city. Soon he will unleash the cursed device's power and curse everything on this planet. Then there's no time to waste. On day 200, I arrived in the city to find Mechagodzilla toying with his device. Stop right there, you oversized battery!
You've been a real pain in my side. Once I start my device, there will be no stopping me from cursing everyone.
Not if I have something to say about it! The two of us charged into battle. I knew that this would be my most difficult battle yet, so I used everything I had obtained up to this point to face Mechagodzilla head on. I fired at him with my vast array of weapons, while he fired back at me with his own. It was kaiju versus kaiju, and only one was gonna reign supreme. Whenever I was able to get close, I sank my teeth into the mech and tore away at his armor. But he would retaliate with his powerful weapons to blast me away. We were truly neck and neck, and it was hard to see who would prevail. Despite the numerous kaiju I had fought, he was stronger than anyone I had faced up to this point. I knew my best bet was to use my cursed crystal as soon as I could. Take this! I took out my crystal, but Mechagodzilla knew what I was scheming. He knocked it out of my hand, causing it to shatter. No!
You fool! Now nothing will stop my machine!
He powered on the device, causing a vortex to appear. No! I have to save everyone! With no other options, I jumped into the vortex to stop it from spreading the curse. To my surprise, instead of dying, I absorbed its energy. I grew bigger than ever before and gained a ton of strength and hearts. I was now the ultimate cursed Godzilla. I used my new power to continue the battle with Mechagodzilla until finally taking him down once and for all. I did it! The city is saved!